Absolutely nothing. That's what JLP Deputy Leader Desmond Mckenzie says the PNP has done for the East Central St. Andrew constituency under its control.
Now I ask, not you here tonight, but those who are listening and watching us tonight, how can you continue to support people who the only thing they think about you is when the time comes for a vote to be cast? They have done absolutely nothing. You have some houses that was built down in the Maxfield area. Those houses were built by the Jamaica Labour Party. So ask them what they have done. They can't tell you.
Mr. Mckenzie was speaking during a JLP meeting in the constituency on Sunday night. He says that despite many leading figures within the PNP holding power in East Central St. Andrew, the constituents reaped no benefits.
These same set of people who is trying to convince Jamaicans that they can do better than us, if they can't serve a constituency that they had premier, Minister of Finance once, Minister of Finance twice, Minister of Health, Minister of Works. They had mayor in this constituency also. And look at the state of East Central St. Andrew.
Desmond Mckenzie, JLP Deputy Leader. Opposition spokesman on finance Julian Robinson says a future PNP administration will ensure that every child who leaves a primary school is literate. He was speaking at the East Central St. Andrew Constituency Conference on Sunday.
As a progressive political movement, we can't be satisfied if only some people are doing well while the vast majority are not. And our first task is to transform our education system. I am giving you a commitment that after our first term, every single Jamaican child who leaves primary school will be literate, numerate, and can do some maths. Because we cannot be satisfied with a system where we have children, students in first form, and 70% of them can't read and write. We cannot be satisfied with that.
Robinson's comments come amid the recent report that several students in the first form cohort at Pembroke Hall High School are either unable to read or can only do so at a third grade level. He says the PNP administration will make substantial investment at the early childhood and primary levels.
What we are going to do is to put the resources in basic and primary school education. We're going to put the investment at the early childhood level so that children get the basics by the time they reach high school. And that will ensure that they can perform well in high school, that they can get the skills necessary to function in a modern workforce.
Julian Robinson, opposition spokesman on finance. To regional and international now, regional news. 4 of the 5 Eastern Caribbean nations offering citizenship by investment, CBI programs, are on a new U.S. State Department watch list. According to the Washington Post, a leaked State Department memo says Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, St. Kitts and Nevis, and St. Lucia could face visa bans or other restrictions if they fail to comply with newly defined benchmarks spelled out by Washington. The memo, signed by Secretary of State Marco Rubio and circulated to U.S. diplomatic missions over the weekend, gives the listed governments 60 days. They have been given a deadline of 8 a.m. next Wednesday to submit an initial action plan. The memo says a key concern for Washington is the sale of citizenship without a requirement for residency. It also referenced other issues such as alleged incidents of anti-American activity in the U.S. by nationals of listed countries. However, the memo also suggests that countries willing to accept third country nationals removed from the U.S. or to enter a safe third country agreement could alleviate some of Washington's concerns. The 4 Caribbean countries named in the memo have previously defended their CBI programs as legitimate tools for economic development with safeguards including rigorous due diligence. 25 African countries and several from Central Asia and the Pacific are also on the list. International Israel says it has attacked Iranian state media buildings in Tehran. The airstrikes were captured on live TV, with debris falling in the studio and a presenter heading off camera. The Israeli military earlier warned people in parts of Tehran's District 3 to leave as it was targeting military infrastructure in the area. Earlier, Israel said it had full aerial operational control over Tehran 4 days after launching strikes on the country. Elsewhere, Iran accuses Israel of hitting a hospital in the west of the country, and Iran's health ministry says at least 224 people have been killed by Israeli strikes since Friday. Overnight, Iranian missiles again penetrated Israel's Iron Dome defense system. The number killed in Israel since Friday has risen to 24. Meanwhile, Russian President Vladimir Putin and Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan have both condemned Israel's act of force against Iran. Speaking by phone on Monday, the two leaders also called for an immediate cessation of hostilities. A Kremlin statement said that the two sides have expressed the most serious concern about the ongoing escalation of the Iran-Israel conflict, which is fraught with serious long-term consequences for the region. It says that they have agreed to remain in close cooperation.